Welcome to WinSouls TV. This is your host, Jeff Thomas, and today we have a great message. So in the very beginning, let me just jump right on into a small testimony. So this past weekend, I was hanging out with a very dear, amazing woman, and she's, absolutely amazing. And there are a lot of, I'm really hard on myself concerning my walk with the Lord, concerning, my spiritual growth with Him, and this and that. And there was a time where I really felt like I fell short, and I did. And in that moment, I started immediately beating myself up as if I'm like the most perfect individual out there. To be honest with you, there's only one man that has walked this earth that is perfect, and that is Jesus. But in my mind, it's just kind of like, I still want to do my best to walk like Jesus. I still want to do, and that's perfectly fine. We should, right? But when we do slip up and when we do make a mistake, we shouldn't let it keep us there in that mindset of dwelling on it or beating ourselves up on it, or feeling like you let the Lord down. The Lord knew that you were going to slip up and make that mistake well before you even knew you were going to make that mistake. But asking for forgiveness, repenting, and then moving forward is the necessary component, because we don't have time to open the door for Satan to dwell in our life, okay? So with that said, I'm beating myself up, and she stopped me, and then she said, basically she was just letting me know that regardless of, this path and this journey that you're on, the Lord is walking with you, and you can lay that burden on Him. But I rest a lot of burdens on the Lord. I rest all of these things on the Lord. But at the same time, I didn't realize that I was holding on to that calling and the anointing that I carry, and placing all the, pushing forward part of it on myself, versus even leaving that to the Lord, which is the individual who gave it to me in the first place. You see? And so who am I to put that pressure and that burden on myself in the first place? And she really helped me to realize that. And so that leads me to the point of today, which is iron sharpening iron, okay? Which is Proverbs 27:17, And let me go ahead and read that to you. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. That word friend is a very, very powerful word right there. It says that the one man sharpens the countenance of his friend or her friend or whatever friend, right? Let's move on to the next point before I get to that whole friend part, okay? So in Matthew 4:18 through 22, Jesus is literally gathering his disciples, right? He's gathering his disciples, but the thing is, one of the things that you'll notice is that Jesus is literally just walking through. Jesus is walking through. And basically what was coming to me was just he's walking already on a specific journey. Whether you choose to come with him or not is up to you. You see what I'm saying? It's up to you. He's calling. He's already got his focus on the Lord and what the Lord has called him to do. Right after he was calling these disciples to come, he was going to go heal anyway, regardless of whether they followed him or not. You see? He was all about the Lord's business. He called to them. If they chose not to come, okay. Well, they'll just be out there fishing. You see what I'm saying? But he said, come, follow me. They dropped everything and they came. Now let's jump back to the whole friend thing. When you're on this whole journey, being very selective in who you have in your life, Okay? Find people who are on the same journey and on the same path and have the same vision as yourself. You are walking with your blinders on to the world. You see what's going on, you recognize what's going on, but you also recognize that you are not of this world, right? You are here to bring the atmosphere of heaven, to invade this world with you and carry it wherever you go, you see? And people who are not on that path, leave them where they are. Leave them where they are and keep going. Don't be afraid to continue going and to cut people out of your life that do not need to be there. Why? And I'm going to tell you why. In Amos 3:3, it says, can two people come together or walk together except they be agreed? He's asking you a question. Can two people walk together except they be agreed? So if you walking down on a path to the Lord and this person that's walking beside you, they gazing all over here, looking at the women, they looking all over here, the alcohol, smoking weed, they doing all of this, they doing all of that, you know, and they're content living in the world, but you have a one-track focus, then y'all aren't on the same path. Y'all aren't on the same path, and it's okay to say no, because that is a form of loving yourself, protecting yourself and putting up barriers to individuals that do not want to walk on that path. You can pray for them. The Lord will touch their heart, but that's not your job. That's not your job. Leave all of that to the Lord. Pray for them and continue walking down that path, because this is a very narrow path. There will be people that do not want to walk down that path. Even Christians do not want to walk down that path. And sadly, they don't even know about the path because it's not being preached. Okay? And so only have people on that walk that you are willing to walk with and will not cause you to hinder or compromise your walk with the Lord. Because bad company corrupts good morals. Bad company corrupts good morals. You guys be blessed and get out there and start sharpening some iron. Ta-ta.